Hello and welcome to Imatra in Finland from the second of our highlights programmes from the Imatra road races. We've already seen 6 spectacular races and there are still 7 to go. After heavy rain overnight, the track is wet for the first action of the day, the Open Supersport Race number 2. Richard Cooper, he's on pole position. Second time round for the Open Supersport, and Richard Cooper first time round on that 47 bike on pole and link control of the first one, wasn't he?
Totally dominant. Kostamo is with him on the front row and Taskinen, then Gary Johnson, Cantola and Mauro Poncini on row 2.
Row 3 is Witt, Vendel and Uski, and then row number 4 is Kaljau, Rieder and Kuvalainen completing on the Triumph. So here we go, Chris Boyd.
Doesn't look great conditions, does it?
Doesn't look nice at all, but very, very wet, and they'll be on the wet tyres, we'd have to say. But as we said earlier on, the track differences here, the tarmac differences, it can make all the difference. The tyres, I know they're only Supersport machines, could be eating up dead quick, couldn't they?
They've had their formation lap, but they're just going to have to feel their way around this opening lap a little bit here. It is Cooper that's gone to the front from Kostamo, but you can just see it looks quite dry in some places and then really damp in others.
We could see other names coming into the mix here. 28 there, Ari Petteri Kuvalainen on the 28 bike. He's on the Triumph. Let's go back to the start. Marek Sirvani, he's got a great start on the Weppel Racing Triumph.
Coming
really
from a
good
long
start.
way back,
yeah,
isn't he?
He has, and he was about row number 6 or 7 he has, but he should be quite good in the wet as well, and some people love the wet, some don't. Let's look at lap times from the first race. They're on the 154s. They won't be near that today, and they're keeping the bike so straight up. And here's Gary Johnson on the Team Schleitzer Derek machine, and Gary looking nice and easy. Maybe made the wrong tyre choice, I don't know, but oh, that's gingy through there, isn't it? That's really easy.
Stay away from the curbs.
Stay away from the curbs and stay away from the white lines. 93's in there again. Nico Tanskanen, he finished third in the first one, but remember, in the first run, Erno Kostamo did not get a good start, but he's on the back of Richard Cooper now.
He's much closer this time with Tanskanen right behind them, out through lap 1.
Cooper, Kostamo, Tanskanen, so it's a Yamaha 1, 2, 3 at the moment, and yeah, very, very wet through here, really wet. I know Richard Cooper doesn't mind the damp conditions. I'm sure Kostamo doesn't either. He's used to this sort of weather, being from this part of the world when they're doing it on the short stage. Yeah, that's mega. But then conversely, come out under the trees like the Alaman TT, it's going to be a heck of a lot drier. Who's in 4th place then? It's number 384 that's in there as well. Poncini. That's Mauro Poncini going well, and 28 in there as well. Ari Petteri Kuvalainen, your top 5.
They work their way through and just assess these conditions. It's Cooper, Kostamo, Tanskanen, Poncini and Kuvalainen. 93, Tanskanen just does a little adjustment of his crash helmet there, because obviously getting a bit of a buffering when he gets his head out of the bubble. 28 is an interesting machine. That's quite an older Triumph it is there, the old 675 Triumph. It won't be one of the new ones, won't be one of the new 765 ones, unless he sneaked the engine in there, who knows? So then he's looking to make progress as they go over the railway lines and on out to the next lap. Cooper then,
Kostamo,
overshoot there by Kostamo.
He's gone straight on there, just the bike starting to give up on him there, so he thought, you know what, I'm not squeezing this brake anymore. So Kostamo is going to be going further back, dropping back probably a couple of places there now. Be interesting to see when we get our next graphic, but that's going to let Richard Cooper by.
Yeah, Tanskanen up to second then, but he's got Kostamo right with him, and we know Kostamo is very good round here, just assessing these conditions as they go. The lap time's up around a 2:10 almost, compared with that first race.
Yeah, down to 154s, 156, 157s, but here, so slippy. 2 or 3, 4 different tarmac changes that are going on the brakes there as well. That's possibly what caught Kostamo out, but he's still in behind 93 there, Taskinen. Kostamo wanting to make a move on that Parker Transport, the R6R. Gary Johnson. Oh, it's a shame for Gary. Out on the Team Schleitzer Derek Suzuki, the GSXR 750. Gary Johnson on the 7 bike, he is out after finishing 4th in the first run.
Possibly just decided these conditions weren't for him, maybe. You wait for the drier stuff. Hopefully it's going to dry up as the day goes on. You
can see the rooster tails coming up off the back of the 600cc tyres, but there we go, Kostamo. He might have gone straight on there in the last lap, but he's not done it this time. He's gone underneath the 93 bike of Nico Tanskanen, but at the front, Richard Cooper stealing a march already, isn't he?
He's showing his class, isn't he? Away off up the road. Cooper, doesn't matter what the conditions are or the fact that he's a total newcomer to this track. He's away and gone, and Sueva Kostamo can do anything about it. It's an 8-lap race, so there is time, but these conditions are not something you'd want to stick your neck out on at all, are they?
And he's did a mental time on that. It's about 8 or 9 seconds that was that he had over that lead there as Kostamo came to the next corners. You just saw Gary Johnson there just deciding enough is enough, don't need to chance it, got another chance, and there's always another day, and somebody going
another
straight
overshoot for Kostamo.
That's twice he's done it now at that corner as well. And I wonder if he has to stop like they have to do it like the Macroboy and Mathers Cross at the Northwest 200. I'm not sure on that. But again, just those tyres just getting a little bit too hot. So we're just having a little look at a rider just taking it nice and steady through this final section of the circuit, but this man's not taking it steady. It's Richard Cooper, somebody touring on the left, did manage to catch the number there now, so look like that rider is going to be in retirement. But this man, Richard Cooper, wet or dry, it's a masterclass once again.
He's absolutely blazed off up the road as he crosses the line to head out onto another lap, and it's Kostamo who is the nearest pursuer, but he's a long way back.
Yeah, look at the track differences there. It's got a lot drier through here now, but he's crossing the centre lines again, going across the Husvat and across the railway lines, and you can see there, look at it, damp patches absolutely everywhere, full wet tyres on the front, full wet tyres on the back. And the thing is about these things, they will heat up, so you've got to be careful because they'll start to feel a bit mushy and a bit pushy, so you just have to be careful. So we might see him occasionally just go into some damp patches just to keep them cooler.
Cooper's got himself down below the 207s in terms of the lap time, so he's has gone a little bit quicker as this race has gone on, but the conditions just do not look like you want to be pushing it. In that opening race, they were in the 154s.
Yeah, Kostamo holding on to that second place nice and steady, and I think he's resigned himself to that second place because he's got a pretty good gap to the rider behind him, Nico Tanskanen, and then 384 still going well. Maro Pacini round about 4th, then Ari Pettin and Kuvalainen on 28, Ilja Kaujo 14, Sebastian Frotcher 44, Yuko Cantola, Mikko Kuski, and Lazaduskas on number 5. He's in about 10th position.
Bits of spray still coming off the back wheel of the Russell Racing Yamaha as Cooper makes his way out through. There's Kostamo as well in second. This time he's into the chicanes and gets it really properly braked.
Yeah, properly braked and through at this time. And don't forget, he'll be riding that in a couple of weeks at the Southern 100, which I'm sure he's going to be looking forward to. But Cooper going up the inside of 156 there, 156.
Brian Fudge.
Yeah, Brian Fudge, who of course is a local rider, or an English rider, should we say, Brian Fudge.
Cooper is away and past him and just heading out and doing his own thing here. He doesn't look like he's pushing in any way. He's not really trying to get anywhere near any of the curbs. In fact, the hands are up and he's
waving to people already, so he knows he's got this on the bag. In the bag on the BPE Russell Racing Machine. Richard Cooper, a masterclass. We know he's a good rider. We know he's a class rider, and here he comes across the line to take the Open Supersport Race number 2. Chris Boyd. What a showing from Richard Cooper.
And it is the Open Supersport double for Cooper on the BPE Russell Racing Yamaha. Erno Kostamo was 27.8 seconds back in second on the Parker Car Transport Yamaha. Then Tanskanen, Foncini and Kuvalainen.
Cooper then makes it a hat-trick in Imatra, and after the break, more road racing from Finland. Welcome back to the Imatra road races in Finland. Conditions still a bit iffy for the next race. It's the sidecars. Back to the sidecars. We are here at Imatra in not so good conditions. You just see all the damp patches around, and you've seen the thicker cut on the tyres, so it's not looking pretty good. But on pole position, Makkula and Soppa, the winner of the first race, and the team that was in second, Herman Herm. Then it's Hummel and Klock and Lady completing the second row. Then it's Rantala, Kolja-Nainen, Virtanen, Axelsen, Kohonen completes row number 4. Looking down to the first corner there, the iconic railway line, and there we go, spinning it up, really spinning it up. But who has got the whole shot? It's number 3, just inside number 669. So number 3 takes the lead, Marco Herm and Vila Herm, as they go to the first right-hander over that little bump in the road there now, so bumpy. But this on board with Petri Makkula and Jarno Soppa, the winners of race number 1. They've got a bit of work to do, currently in third. Outfit 32 of Virtanen just behind them, and we can see number 12 also in there, Aki Kohonen. They finished in race number 1 in, where did they finish? In fact, they didn't, the DNF in that one. It was all action that first race, but up the front, they better keep an eye on this. Number 3, Marco Herm and Vila Herm, they're getting away. However, here they come, 99, Makkula and Soppa on their LCR Yamaha. They're going to be looking to chase down, and you can see the way the track changes. But here we go, on board with the 10 outfit. You can see Klock on the side of there. Klock and Lady it is, and they get away on the 10 outfit alongside number 27. They make a move, but 32 has gone alongside them as well. Great onboard shots as we go into the first right-hander here at Imatra. Oh, number 3. Wow, Herm sideways as he comes through chicane. And number 27 has gone straight on the chicane. Look how damp it is here. Iffy stuff through here. Hopefully, they're all on intermediate, so maybe a light cut slick, but it's really slippy through there as 99 is on a charge, but we're keeping an eye on the 32 outfit of Petri Van Aerten and Julius Van Aerten, who, of course, the passenger fell out in race number 1. But back at the front, number 3 has got number 99 for company. I think they're going to catch up, but it's then third place at 32. Then it's number 10, Jordan Clock and Carmen Lady. They're holding on to fourth at the moment. But here we go. Into the chicane. Oh, the rear wheel, just the side wheel even just bumping up on the bumps. You got to be so careful. You got to pick your point. You think how wide these things are. They're like a little family car. So here we go. Onto the back straight now is the 99 outfit. Oh, a retirement though. That's sad. Number 669, they've had their second retirement. Thomas Axelsen and Laurie Lipstock, they are out of the race. But number 3, look at the rear camera there. Here they come. What great drive there is from 99. Here they come. There's the overtake. 99 takes the lead. The winner of race 1, Petri Makkula and Jarno Soppa, they go into the lead. And how slippy is it into here? A few spectators braving the weather up on the hedges there in that grandstand. But it's 99 who now lead number 3 here in the second sidecar race at Imatra. Number 3 being really ginger on the throttle there. You got to take it nice and steady, looking for that grip. But here's 32, still ahead of 10. Petri Virtanen, ahead of Jordan Clock. Petri, of course, on the LCR BMW. Jordan Clock on the RCN Yamaha R6 machine. As they blast in and out of the trees, back into the light there, into the right-hander they go. Nice and tidy. You can see that heavier cut tyre on the 99 outfit, but 32 and 10, they're a lot closer than what they were. It's hard on the brakes once again. They're going into left. Oh, goodness me, 32! Goodness me, where are you going? Over the curbs, literally over the curbs. Number 10 sees a chance, and number 10, that's Clock and Lady. They jump up to third position. You can see all the spray that's been chucked up by the other outfits just on our camera there, but no problems of visibility for number 99. Whoa, 99, oh no, oh my goodness me, that's nearly a huge crash for number 10. That's Jordan Clock and Cayman Lady. Goodness me, here's a little look around. Goodness, Jordan Clock, so lucky not to flip that outfit. I've seen that so many times with outfits on the short circuits. You don't want to be doing that on the roads, but into the final lap, it's 99 that leads 3. We're going to go back and have a little look at that. I cannot believe that outfit managed to stay upright. The number 10 outfit of Clock and Lady. Here we go, from above. That's how close it was. Goodness me, and the marshals definitely got a wake-up call, clatter into the barriers, and look at the passenger lady getting right underneath there now. But they are safe, and there's Jordan taking his gloves off and thinking to himself, how lucky am I? 99, Petri Makkula and Jarno Soppa, they're looking like they're going to take race number 2 victory. That will be 2 wins on the weekend at Imatra here for the 99 outfit. The LCR Yamaha for number 3, Herm and Herm. Then it's Virtanen and Virtanen, Kohonen and Vuri. Clock and Ladies we saw didn't finish, neither did Hummel and Hummel or Axelsen and Lipstock, but it's Makkula and Soppa with Sidecar Race 2 win.
Race 3 of the day is for the Superbikes, but with a dry line now appearing on parts of the Jarno Saarinen Circuit, tyre choice, that will be crucial.
Time now for the second Open Superbike race, and it was Erno Kostamo who did the big winning in the first one, Chris Boyd, but conditions still don't look great, do they?
No, not at all. It's drying up a little bit perhaps, but Superbike racing in this. We'll see how it goes. Kostamo on pole from Larty, then Carlson, then on row 2 we've got Valtonen, Jacobs and Mattis.
Back to row 3, it's Koski, Karki and Rostlinger, then it's Bednarek, Manila and Oliver Luckberger on the Yamaha, completing row number 4.
Eyes down for the start then. Kostamo looks well crouched. Away they go.
Good start by... No, not a good start by 33. Looked like he got a really good launch off the line, but Vinnie Valtonen has got an absolute cracker off on the 13 bike. But I think 38, yes, Kostamo has got into the lead, but he's got that man again underneath him, Kenny Koskinen, who's got a good start in the previous 2 big bike races. He drops into second.
He's a good starter, but by the time they came out of the first corner, it was Kostamo who was back in familiar position on the RVS BMW. Kostamo out front. Oh, had a big moment there.
Shows you what the conditions are like. He's he's going to have to watch it here. He'll know the track conditions here. We're going on to the back straight there now. You can still see the damp patches there, and just about there is where 77 on that big high side let her into a little bit earlier on, but Kostamo is checking out already. Look at that lead.
Them. Wow, he's got some power down the back straight, and he's punching the hole in the air for the others to follow, and Koskinen is coming, but he's also got Valtonen for company. Valtonen just fixed the twice of having a go into the chicane.
Then we got Carlson in there on 36, 77 in there as well. Letta Rinter. We'll have 50, number 8 Pontus Rostelberger in there too, and Heikki Manila. Heikki on the 69 bike. He is on the BMW.
Letta Rinter having a look up the inside of Valtonen and makes that move. So Valtonen gets himself up into third. But Letta Rinter's not having it. He's coming back as they go over the bridge.
Letta Rinter on the wet tyre. You can see that heavily cut tyre as they go into that corner there now. Just keeps it nice and steady. And again, we talked about it in the other races, don't we? The track conditions are all different around here. The track surfaces are so different no matter which corner you're on.
And you can just see in some places it looks relatively dry, in others there is still a real wet line. As Emily Larty, one of the front runners, looks to be in trouble here on the Aprilia.
And don't forget, he crashed out of the Superbike race a little bit earlier on, so that's a different machine he's on there. It was the black machine he was on. That time he's on the white machine this time, but across the line they go. And Erno Kostamo, he's on the lead. 36 goes through, 51 goes through, Ansi Koski, and 36 Marcus Carlson. He's having a good showing as well, but there's the top 5.
Here's that battle for third. Koskinen's in second, but this is Valtonen, Letteranta and Carlson coming through in that big battle for third, and 13's going up the inside. Valtonen's having another go. He's got it.
Yeah, good to see 3 different manufacturers there. 36 is on the BMW. We've got 77 in there, Lerinter. But here he is, Willy Valtonen on the BMW, the Team Sense Tech machine. Here we go. He's getting the run. Here he goes, dragging that BMW, the M1000 RR to the left-hand side of the track. Front wheel just pouring the air a little bit.
Here's the battle for second again.
Definitely not a choice of intermediates. I think this is definitely wets because they're going from very dry stuff, and look at the rear wheel spinning up. I think that was 57 just spinning it up there. It could have been 77. No, it was 57 just spinning that rear wheel up. When these wet tyres just get too hot, there's no grip at all, and they just spin up completely. And there you go. Here he is. He's on the move. 57.
He's through. Only 8 laps this race, so about 24 miles. So a wet tyre will last that, won't it, even if it does dry up a bit.
Yeah, you see the 3 lines on that rear tyre there of the Kawasaki. Let's watch it go. He's just fighting for grip there. He's asking for it, but the BMW definitely has the drag on the ZX10 Kawasaki.
Back through into second then for Vali Valtonen on the Team Sensatech BMW. He's got company.
Yeah, but right in behind him, he's not giving it up. Kenny Koskinen on that Kawasaki. But this man, Kostamo, you look at the first race, he was in the 149s. Here we're in the 157s, the 158s, a steady one of those. But 13, look at that through that corner.
He's
brilliant for Husahuvat. He's pulled away and he's really pushing now. Another man pushing hard on the R1 Yamaha is Nico Lehorinta. Of course, he finished, he didn't finish the first big bike race, did he? Because that was the one he came into the pits on because he had the big high side, yeah.
And we said he was looking quite aggressive on the bike as well, so it might just be the riding style. Kostamo, though, looks well clear here down the back straight. He's just got to get this nicely controlled in these conditions, make sure he doesn't overshoot any of these chicanes, and just do his own thing out front.
The RVS Motorsport team put out a really good BMW for him, but here we go. Here is the battle. Yeah, great move on the R1 Yamaha, looking really nice. I love the sound of that Yamaha, the R1, when it fires up. Pretty dry through there now, actually, but I think number 13, Willy Valtonen, ahead of them. I think he's cleared off, hasn't he, on the BMW Team Sensatech machine.
He's just gapped them. He's left them behind a little bit, so he's pushing forward as well.
Lehorinta, he's in third place on the 77, and it's Carlson on 36, and Koskinen rounding out the top 5. Final lap there now, number 57, he's holding 5th.
Koskinen just slipping back a little bit there into 5th, yeah, but Kostamo has this totally in hand out on the final lap. The lap times, the best laps are in the 157s that we've seen.
Yeah, you can see they're moving around a bit. The bikes are really moving around there now, and that's possibly what's happened to Kenny Koskinen, why he's dropped right back. But this man having no such problem. Remember in the Supersport race earlier on, he was a bit squirrely into here. No such things on the big BMW, keeping it nice and steady.
He's heading towards an open Superbike double. He's of course won so many consecutive Superbike races around here that this is just another one to add to the tally.
And he's got a little bit of traffic just going through there now. I think that's 33. Looked like 33.
Emily Larty.
Yeah, so he's obviously got back out on track and maybe just wanting a bit of track time, maybe to get the bike set up for the big one later on.
That's the one that really matters as they come on through the day. They'll be hoping conditions dry out a bit by then as well, so they can really put on a show for this massive crowd.
Yeah, more riders being overtaken. I think that was 86, I think it was, Jarno Pekkala on the BMW, 1000cc BMW. But there we are, our second place man. He goes through Willy Valtteren, but the third place, that's not done yet, I don't think. But this man, Erno Kostamo on the BMW, the RVS Motorsport BMW, another win around the 3-mile Jarno Saarinen Imatra circuit for this man. As we look back into his face, it's a shame he's got a dark visor on. We'd like to see the expression on his face as he goes across the line, and he's going to be taking that race win. Another race win for Erno Kostamo.
Chalk up another one for the Finnish rider on the RVS Motorsport BMW. He salutes, acknowledges the crowd there as well. It's another one done, but there are bigger targets ahead later in the day.
Yeah, there certainly are. And second place should be Willy Valtteren, and he was pretty clear of the 36 Mike Carlson and 57 Koskinen. And then we've got Nico Litarinta. He comes home in 5th place, but winning by 14.8 is Kostamo.
Roslinger in 6th on the Honda, then Manila, Koski, Wally Jacobs and Lupberger.
A happy Erno Kostamo, and another win around Imatra for the Finnish rider.
A great win for Erno Kostamo in tricky conditions, and after the break, it's the turn of the retro Superbike machines. Welcome back to the Imatra road races in Finland from the Jarno Saarinen Circuit. Up next is the retro Superbike class with a whole host of classic machinery.
Welcome back to Imatra. It's now time for the retro Superbikes. For those of you listening in England, well, I can tell you it's what we call post-classics. But you can see already there the GSXR Suzuki's also in the field is an RSV 1000 Aprilia. Number 51's on that bike there. Keep an eye out for him. Anssi Koski. So on pole, Ari-Pekka Kuvalainen on the Suzuki. Then it's Koski, Aprilia. Tainen on the Suzuki. Kesseli also on the Suzuki. Kawasaki's, Suzuki, ZXRs. There's a Ducati 916 in there as well. So a very mixed bag of classic machines here for an 8-lapper around the Imatra circuit. And a good start by number 28, Ari-Pekka Kuvalainen. He's on a GSXR Suzuki. And it's number 51, that yellow bike, the RSV Aprilia. That goes back in the day, doesn't it? That is, of course, Anssi Koski on that machine. There's 2 of them in the field. Another one is in number 7, Juha Personen. But we'll keep an eye on all these riders as they get out into the countryside for the first time. So it's 69 in the 3rd place, Rup Pitkonen. And there's the 916 Ducati of the number 22 machine. That's Raimo Kessel. And he's bounced away, and I can just see in the background there, number 10. Now, number 10 is an interesting machine. That's a TL 1000 twin Suzuki. He didn't see many of them getting raced for good reason. Mikko Harsunen, but he's up to 1, 2, 3, 4th, 5th position, looking a bit squirrely on the brakes as they got to get ahead of number 23, Sami Simosto. Beautiful turned out machine there of 69 Rup Pitkonen. He's on the GSXR Suzuki, but it's 28 that leads. It's Kuvalainen who leads from number 51, Anssi Koski. He's got that Aprilia going well. So it's a Suzuki from an Aprilia, then another Suzuki, then a Ducati, and then another Suzuki. But this time, the V-twin, that machine there on 10 on the bikes. You can look into his clear visor and see those eyes menacing. Into the chicane, just watch out for those bumps, but here comes the Ducati powered at 22. That, of course, is Raimo Kessel on that 916. You've got to watch these curbs around here. Now, watching a few of the riders earlier on clatter onto there. They're big bumps, and they can unseat you out of the seat and just knock your foot off the gear change or off the brake pedal, but 28 got no problems at all. That's a pretty good lead. That's a couple of seconds that Ari-Pekka Kuvalainen leads, but 69 and 22, they're having a good battle. Oh, there's a disappointment. He was running well. Number 51, Anssi Koski on his Aprilia RSV 1000, the twin. He is out of the race. Number 22, though, he's making a move on his twin, the 916 of Raimo Kessel. Let's have a listen to this as he comes out of the chicane as we go back to number 51, Anssi Koski. Yeah, he's got work to do to get that machine fixed for the next race, but 28, Ari-Pekka Kuvalainen, he's away with it, isn't he? 69 could have a bit of problems in a minute from an interesting riding style of 22, not really getting in behind the bubble at all, but 69, Rupi Pitkonen, he's definitely getting in behind the bubble because he knows that 22 is on a charge behind him, but it's 28 at the front with a pretty healthy lead. I don't think he needs to look over the shoulder. He's probably getting pitbulled somewhere around, and here's 10. There's that V-twist. Oh, just little spin of the rear wheel. Oh, third place is out. 22, Raimo Caselli on the Ducati, the 916. He's gone out, so that will promote that number 10 machine we were talking about. Mikko Husanen on the TL1000 Suzuki. That'll promote him up to third place. But 28 doing the business on the GSXR Suzuki in the Retro Superbike race. He takes the race win. Ari Petri Kuvalainen from Rupi Pitkonen. Then it's Mika Harsonen, Personen, Kaki, Semesto, Typo and Kohonen are your top 8 finishers in the Retro Superbikes.
Some great racing there from the Retro Superbikes. Next, we'll see if Richard Cooper can claim a clean sweep in the Supersport class.
It's time for our second IRRC Supersport race number 2 here on King of the Roads. It's 10 laps of the Supersports. Adam McLean's on pole.
Race 1 winner Richard Cooper second, then Nyman rounds out the front row, then 7, 8, Tanskinen and Kostamo on row 2.
Let's go to row number 3. It's Johnson, Gary Johnson, there's Tweed, Witt, Poncini, Cantala and Vetter, but I think there's a big gap on the second row. No Kostamo.
No, he's missing, and it's Cooper who looks to get a big drive away from the start. Pulling the air is McLean, and that's let Cooper get away.
Conditions look better than what they were earlier on when they were out in Supersport bikes. 36 with a bit of a run there. Number 36 on the Ducati. We'll go back to that in a minute. And Richard Cooper is already away, but 69's made another good start. Peter Najman on his Yamaha.
It was Juho Cantola who was trying to make that big drive up through the first corner as we get. There he is, comes into view, right behind Darrell Tweed.
Yeah, Darrell Tweed's got that big Ducati right in behind him. Darrell on the Never Be Clever R6, but that man, Richard Cooper, in perfect condition, shall we say, has just up the inside of Gary Johnson, has gone 93. Nico Tanskinen, who of course finished in 4th in the first run.
Tanskinen always goes well round here, doesn't seem to matter which bikes they are on. Cooper is out front from Nyman, which was the 1-2 in the opening race.
Well, 56 is in there now. That's Adam McLean. He's got himself up to second position as they are on the far side of the circuit as we watch number 384 and 27 go through there. Rico Vetter on 27, 384. Mauro Poncini, he did well in the first one as well. He finished in 9th place.
Savene there just slipping wide and surrendering a place on the Triumph as they head out onto. Conditions do look a lot better here, don't they, than earlier in the day.
Clouds are a lot brighter than what they were, if I can say that. They're not as grey looking, and here we are on the start and finish straight now. Front wheel just goes like there. They go under the pedestrian bridge on board with Nico Tanskinen, and it's got number 45 screaming in behind him. Marek Cerveny, the Czech Republic rider, he's on the Triumph. What has the Triumph got over Marek's bike? Marek, of course, on the what's Marek on? Marek's on the Triumph, and Nyman
Gary
is
Johnson
on the Yamaha.
Closing on them as well.
Gary Johnson going well. Gary on, of course, the next generation GSXR 750 Suzuki, but everybody looking really tidy, and I bet you they're enjoying it now that it's dry.
That's Nyman, who's just been pushed back to second, as we saw, by Adam McLean. So it's McLean trying to get after Richard Cooper. Richard Cooper's won 3 races already this weekend. He's trying to make it 4.
He is, and he's got Adam McLean just in behind him, and it's Nigel, and it's Cerveny, and it's Taskin in your top 5 in there. Then for who have we got there? We've got Gary Johnson 7, Darrell Tweed 59, Matt Elvitt on 58 and 384, Poncini and Caljau on 14, round about the top 10 at the moment.
That was the battle between 7-8 and Tanskinen in this battle here. They are for 4th and 5th as we join Tanskinen.
They want to be careful beating each other up here, Nyman, Cerveny and Tanskinen, because they are letting Cooper and McLean, who are in the one late.
He's got him.
145s. That's a great move, isn't it? Has he got him? No.
Saveni's looking to make a drive back up past him if he can.
So many good passing places on this circuit that you can set up from an age away, you know, because you've got big long runs. And look at that, he's already pulled him there, hasn't he? 93 is starting to pull away there on the R6, but he's trickled back into them now. That Triumph so good in the middle corner.
Looking for the big drive down through the start finish here, and then up into the right hander as they'll head to the railway crossing. What can he do as they go on the way up here? He's coming. Yeah,
he's coming. Tucks in, maybe pulls out a little bit too early. You can see his head shaking with the buffering of the wind there. There's 2 more riders just in behind those guys as well. It is, well, Gary Johnson, the 2 English riders, the Northern Irishman and the Englishman Darrell Tweed and Gary Johnson. They're backing it into Hutha Huvat. But at the front is 47. It's the Lincolnshire rider. That is, of course, Richard Cooper against number 56. That's Adam McLean, the Northern Irishman.
He's doing his best to try and keep in touch with Cooper here. Of course, these two have raced each other at Northwest 200 and all over the place, so McLean doing his best just to try and get back to Cooper. As back behind this battle still going between 7A and Tanskinen.
Yeah, Nashman now on 69. He's doing really, really well on that R6 Yamaha. He showed well in the first run as well, finishing in that second position. That green and white machine that he's got. But here we go with the sun blazing down. 1, 2, 3 riders there. This is a great showing by Daryl Tweed, by the way. Fresh off the success at the Tandragee 100 for him.
Great racing. Tanskanen at the front of this little battle, but the four of them are having a real scrap here. Fantastic to see, putting on a real show for the huge crowds.
Yeah, massive crowds lining this just over 3 mile circuit in Finland, the Jarno Saarinen Circuit. But I'm very impressed by 59. But Gary Johnson, don't discount Gary. I know he's, how shall I say, getting on in years. He won't mind me saying that as well. He's won everywhere. Oh, Richard Cooper, absolutely out of the seat. I thought he'd lost that. So this is going to possibly give. Yep, he's got in front Adam McLean. We have to see that again. Richard Cooper with a massive mistake going into that corner there called Kona Pico, but he gathered it up nicely, didn't he?
He's handed the lead to McLean, but he's lucky to still be in the race as Cooper. Lucky that he had that run-off road right in front of him to take. Oh.
Yeah, just started to lose the front. The rear came round, he gripped it, he just managed to set off the throttle. Look at all the fuel that burnt off there, and he had to shut the throttle really quick. So we have a new race leader, but for how long? As Marek Cerveny, he does another change of position with the number 93 machine. Incredible racing.
These guys are having a fantastic scrap, and there's now a scrap for the race lead again because Cooper's now got work to do.
He has, and this is where he has the advantage, just a little bit lighter than Adam McLean. Adam won't mind me saying that either, and here he comes in and out of the slipstream Coops. We've seen him do it at the Northwest 400 upholstered Lee, left-hand side of Adam McLean, and he now retakes the lead.
Gets that Russell Racing Yamaha properly wound up to sweep past McLean. Into the chicane.
Yes, into that chicane properly this time and not having to go through. He was lucky that little bit of tarmac was in the middle of it. But here comes Gary Johnson on the GSXR 750 Suzuki, goes up the inside of Daryl Tweed.
Same chicane. It's good to see Gary Johnson looking racy there and making the overtake. He's good to see him coming back to form, isn't it?
He was on good form at TT, spoke to him quite a few times as well, around about the paddock. Always happy and jokey, always having a bit of fun is Gary, and he's having fun at Imatra.
It is the full 10 laps this time of Imatra, but here's the checkered flag, it's done.
Yeah, it is, and a 153.42 for Cooper, a 153.7 for McLean in second.
Cooper did it the hard way, but it is the 4-timer for him here on his debut at Imatra. Nyman finishes in third, then Cerveny 4, Tanskanen, Johnson, Tweed, Vitt, Poncini, rounding out the rest of the top 10.
It's very difficult to get it stopped for the apex. I just lost a little bit of grip on the entry. Luckily for me, there was a service road which was safe to go down. Let Adam pass, regrouped, went again, and it was. If there was a good time to do it, it was then, because there was still 2 laps remaining, which left me enough time to make a move and to stick it up, up the inside into the same chicane I ran on and take the 4th win. Yeah.
Stay with us. There's more road racing from Imatra after this. Welcome back to the Imatra Road Races in Finland. The second IRRC Superbike race is still to come, but first, highlights from the classic ICGP Race 2. It was number 20, Topi Mustonen, on pole for the ICGP Race 2, and it was the 250 Honda that would go on to take a double victory in Imatra as number 122, Chris Meyer, got through to 4th place on the back of the grid at the start. He would then be involved in a 3-way scrap for 2nd place with Ilari Nieminen and Imo Muavara. But his progress was cut short when the German retired to the pit lane with a burnt clutch after only 1 lap. This promoted number 50 Marku Tuamara to 4th place, and soon he was challenging number 363 Muavara for the last podium position. Further back, a Yamaha on Yamaha battle for 5th with 256 Pasi Huamanen pursuing 15 Juha Kaljanen. Back at the front, Nieminen kept Mustonen in his sights with just a few seconds between them at all times. Last lap, and Mustonen smooth and steady through the final couple of corners. The checkered flag at the ready for the Honda rider as he takes the ICGP double at Imatra. Confirmation of Mastonen's win, 3.5 seconds ahead of Niemanen. Tuamara got the better of Muravara in the closing stages for the final podium spot. So Muravara confirmed in 4th place, Humanen in 5th, Kaljan in 6th, Wagner in 7th, Gilbert in 8th, and none finishes for Kartinen and Chris Meyer. The last race of the weekend is the second IRRC Superbike encounter, and Erno Kostamo is looking for his 14th win at Imatra.
Erno Kostamo put his stamp all over Imatra 2025 in Superbike Race number 1. This is Superbike Race number 2. He had an outright lap record, Chris Boyd. He's on it.
And he's on pole with Emily Larty and Kenny Koskinen on the front row, then Billy Valton and Marcus Carlson and Adam McLean.
Row number 3 is Leharinta, Tweed and Jacobs, Koski, Mula and Matisse. And we keep a little eye on the 33 by Larty. Let's hope he's got that fix from his spill in the first one. And we're away.
Eyes down, away we go. Who's going to get the drive? It looks like Kostamo's made a good start, but coming from the outside is Taskinen once again.
He's so good. Kostamo has got the bit between his teeth this time. On board with Adam McLean as we look back to his countryman. 59 is Daryl Tweed there, but Kostamo looks to have got a pretty good start this time and not been bulked in the first couple of corners by number 57, Kenny Koskinen.
He swept away in that first race. If he's got to the lead this early, what will he do this time around, as we see Nico Muller there going through?
Yeah, 174. Good to see Lauren Hoffman back out riding as well. But up at the front, it's Kostamo who's doing the business. And here's the Yamaha. Let's have a listen. Listen to that different note of the Yamaha, the R1, but he's got the ZX10 Kawasaki of Adam McLean in his wheel tracks, but it's Kostamo that leads, and 57, Koskinen, and 13 in there again, Vili Valtonen showing well.
With Emily Larty in 4th place.
Yeah, on the different colour Aprilia this time, did manage to fix the original bike when that was buried into the air fence, and it might be the same bike, different fairings. We don't know, but somebody making a move there. That is that man we were just talking about. He's not shy of sticking that Aprilia in, isn't he?
Oh, Valtonen loses a spot there, gains a spot and then loses a spot within about a second, as we see Adam McLean trying to get Pacey behind, left it in here.
Not often you see Adam actually on the big bike, to be fair, especially on the Irish roads. Normally a twin or a 600, that's all you normally see him on, but that Aprilia does look smart. You can see the little wings on it, the black fins that it's got to try and keep that front wheel down, but he's trying to get ahead of number 57 there, Kenny Koskinen at the moment. He's on 57, just runs a little bit wide. That's where he fell off earlier on the number 33 bike, so maybe just take it easy through there if you don't mind, Emily, if you don't mind. We don't need you back in the hedge there, but here we go. Here's the pace of the BMW. Wow, he's not got the pace of that Aprilia, has he?
No, nowhere near it. McLean is coming as well, and right behind him is
Daryl Tweed. It is, yeah, on the Yamaha, the Never Be Clever, the R1 machine of him, that great paint scheme that he's got. But Daryl decided, do you know what? I know Adam, I'll just follow him round. Let's learn a bit.
Backed out of that one, yeah, but he'll find himself a chance later on. It's Kostamo from Koskinen, then Larty, Valtonen and Carlson rounding out the top 5.
Then it's 36 in there as well. Carlson showing out well, as you said. Letterinter on 77. We see him in shot there now, just goes over the bumps. We're back on the start there with Daryl Tweed. Daryl right in the middle there, swings to the right-hand side of the road and gets in behind everything. Nearly gets up on number 33, Emily Larty off the start. Emily did not make a very good start into roundabout 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's Adam McLean just slotting into his position there. So Emily Larty not with a great start. He's made up some ground to get himself to 3rd, hasn't he?
Indeed, Kostamo though is out front from Koskinen and trying to push that lead as far as he can. It's a 10-lap race, 49.5 kilometres, so he's just trying to push that lead. Earlier on he extended right away. It's whether he can do the same in this second race.
Just having a look at lap times, Chris. We're in the 149s, 148s at the moment, so that's kind of Kostamo sort of territory. Remember that lap he did in the first one, 148, 743.
Larty's got himself into second here, past Koskinen, so Larty's made the move on Koskinen to get himself into second place.
And we got Adam McLean going through. Yeah, that was Adam McLean with Daryl Tweed just in behind him as well. Because Kostamo, he's not got this his own way. He's not got the gap he had in the first one. He won the first one by 19 seconds. That's not 19 seconds, is it?
What can Larty do on the VM Aprilia? He's going to try and get to Kostamo now. He's the man to try and take the challenge to. Oh, it looks quite pacey, that Aprilia, doesn't it, as well?
It's really weird. Wheels. If you look at his bars, he seems to have very what we call flat bars. He doesn't have drop bars, so he seems to have a different riding style to the others anyway. Very very aggressive.
Valtonen in fourth there on the Team Sensatech BMW as the main men who've been there all week. Oh, big wide line by Larty up over the curbs.
It was, and he's got 57, Kenny Koskinen just in behind him, and 13, the BMW, of course, finished third in the first one. Ville Valtonen on the BMW, the Team Sensatech machine. But Kostamo, well, he's got a lot of trouble here because Emily Larty looks very, very racy, and this man does as well. You can hear the R1 just up the inside of 36 there. 36, Marcus Carlson, he drops a place, and the 77, Nico Leherinta, gets in front of him.
He's also coming and wanting a good result. He's up to fifth then, but Kostamo has now got real company. Larty is right with him. It's what can he do about Kostamo, who is the king round here.
It's 4 groups, isn't it? 2 groups of 4, should I say. So 77, 36, 56 and 59 in the second group. And the first group, should I say, is Kostamo 38, Larty 33, Carlson 57 and Valtonen on 13. About similar sort of pace as well.
And then it's Leherinta who's leading out that second group. Oh, out of the seat for a second there was Larty.
That's about 3 or 4 times now he's been out of the seat in that corner, and out of the seat going across the railway lines at Huvat as well. So he's going to have to watch out. So there we go, Superbikes flat out. Here's Darrell Tweed getting into the slipstream of Adam McLean once again. Well, gets right in behind him there now. The front wheel just paws the air, nice and steady. You see the fans getting a great shot of that. Adam pulls to the left-hand side. And of course, Darrell pulls to the right-hand side, thinks better of it again, as twice he's looked at making that move. Maybe
hasn't
later.
Quite got the power coming up through the start-finish.
Very sensible there by that lap rider there. Brilliant stuff on the RVS Motorsport BMW. Kostamo, he has the lead, but I don't think there's been any changes for second and third. Larty and Koskinen having a good dust-up earlier on. Good to see him back out, actually, Larty, after that spill earlier on today, and he's got a bit of traffic to deal with now as well.
The front 3 all having to catch the lower order men as they make their way out to the end of the next lap, but it's Kostamo who's going for. Oh, he's made him sit up there. Oh dear,
yeah, 87, Emil Kushnevi, if that's close enough for Emil, if he'd done you a disservice there on your Kawasaki, but you got out the way, you've seen him coming. Emily Larty managed to get through, but this man is on a mission, isn't he? He absolutely loved this place, and this is setting him up nicely for the Southern 100 next week.
He's doing lots of international road racing, is Erno Kostamo, and he's the big star up here in Finland. And Nico Leherinta making it. Oh, he's getting chased down as well by McLean.
Yeah, Adam McLean having a little look there. Let's see what the Yamaha's got on the Kawasaki of McLean. The Yamaha is a quick machine. We know the Kawasaki is as well. I wonder if McLean has got past him there now. But this man, just cruising, he's got a little bit of traffic ahead, and that looks to me like an old R1 Yamaha with the 2 exhausts coming out of the seat. And we'll keep a little eye and see if we can name this rider as well, because it's interesting to see when you go to a place like this, just different machines.
Kostamo out onto the final lap and heading for the checkered flag. I think he's won a dozen Superbike races in a row round here.
Yeah, it's absolute class round this place as well. I know Michael Dunlop came last year as well and put it to him as well. So there we go.
Bits and pieces of traffic for them all to contend with. There are still battles going on, even out on the final lap. McLean, we're with here, I think, and he's pulling over, I think.
Doesn't sound right, to be fair. You can just hear him just not sounding right, and he's got his left hand up there, so that's a bit of a disaster for the Northern Irishman, Adam McLean. He is going to be a retirement. This man is not, though. He's probably going to take yet another win around here. So it's 17 we were talking about there. 17, we'll give him a mention. Jesse Rahonen, he's on the old R1 Yamaha, and Adam McLean has retired just into one of the chicanes. That's a shame, because he had a pretty good event so far.
He has on the PRA Kawasaki, but over the front, Kostamo is headed for the checkered flag, and another dominant weekend at Imatra for Kostamo.
Fastest lap on lap number 6, a 1:48.9 compared to his 1:48.7 in the first race. Second place, picked himself up from the spill in the first race there. Emily Larty, he gets himself in second place, and Kenny Koskinen on the 57 bike, after starting well yet again, he comes home in third. But there is a very happy Erno Kostamo.
In fourth was Ville Valtonen, in fifth Nico Leherinta, in sixth Marcus Carlson. Then it was Darrell Tweed, Frederick Matisse, Wally Jacobs and Nico Muller rounding out the top 10.
A great day at the office for Finnish rider Erno Kostamo as he gets onto the top of the podium. The champagne corks will pop. And brilliant stuff here at Imatra for 2025. He is the king once again of the Jarno Saarinen Circuit.
Very amazing weekend, and every Superbike race is the win, and maybe 14 winning is the Imatra Superbike series. Feeling is amazing.
And in the King of the Roads, Kostamo now trails Michael Dunlop MBE by 37 points. Davy Todd's in third, Michael Sweeney fourth, and Dean Harrison is in fifth place. And that is all from the 59th Imatra Nargo Road Races. Kostamo retains his crown as King of Imatra for another year, while Richard Cooper rules the Supersport class. Next year, the event celebrates its 60th anniversary. Until then, it's goodbye for now.